Hey everyone, Rich Gasaway here. In case you didn't catch the announcement, some of the SA Matters show episodes are now on video. Many of the guests on this show have video and audio clips to share when they're talking about their near-miss events, and that's just hard to do in an audio-only format of a podcast. So, when we have valuable video content to share, the episodes will be posted as videos on YouTube. The audio podcasts, including the one you're listening to now, are also posted on YouTube. So now you can listen to the audio-only episodes by subscribing on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, or the YouTube channel, whichever you prefer. Before I kick off today's episode, I want to take a moment to talk about the live virtual training. What does that mean, live virtual training? It means I'll come to your organization live via the internet to train your members on situational awareness and high-risk decision-making. This is the easiest and most affordable way to train your team on situational awareness. Visit samatters.com website and click on one of the orange boxes on the homepage of SA Matters. If you want to talk to me about the training, just click the Contact Us tab at the top of the page and I'll give you a call. Okay, that's enough of the pre-show stuff. Roll that show intro. Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
This is Chief Alan Mantle of the Beaver Dam, Wisconsin Fire Department. You are listening to SA Matters radio show with Dr. Rich Gasaway. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes.
Welcome to episode 205 of the Situation Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence, time-compressed environments with changing conditions. The SA Matters mission is simple: to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. I've been sharing the message of situational awareness and high-risk decision-making at live program events for 13 years now and have trained just over 64,000 students, including first responders, industrial workers, military personnel, business leaders, medical professionals, utility workers, aviation workers, oil refinery operators, and more. This message truly is for anyone who works in a high-risk environment. I'm dedicated to improving your safety and your survival, and I'm here to offer you a message of hope and a message of inspiration, and to help you to accomplish the most important goal of all, and that's to go home to the ones who love you. And speaking of sharing the message, today I'm coming to you again from Fort McMurray, Alberta, where I'm in town to deliver situational awareness programs for the oil refinery operators at Syncrude, Canada. The refinery here is huge, and the company has made a commitment to train 600 plus operators on this important safety topic. Thank you, Syncrude and ExxonMobil, for your commitment to improving worker safety. One of the questions I get asked a lot by readers of the blog and listeners and viewers of this show is, when are you coming to my area? I want to attend a program. Or where are you going to be next? Great questions, and I've made the answer really easy to find out. I've created a link on the homepage of the SA Matters website, and it's a blue box on the right side labeled Live Training Events. Live Training Dates. If you think your department, company, or agency might be interested in hosting a program and you want to save some money, consider hosting a companion program. A companion program is a program on an adjoining day to when I'm already doing a program, and you can save as much as 20% off the program cost. So if you see I'm going to be within a couple hours of where you're located, just reach out to me and we'll put something together for you. Today's episode examines how frustration can impact your situational awareness. Anyone who's been frustrated knows that it can consume a lot of your mental energy and thinking space. This can significantly impact your situational awareness. In fact, depending on the level of frustration, your brain can be hijacked by all-consuming thoughts about what is causing your angst. While operating in high-risk, high-stress environments, frustration may draw your attention away from perceiving or understanding critical inputs that form your awareness. Okay, let's jump into our feature segment and look at how frustration can impact your situational awareness. Anyone who's been frustrated knows that it can consume a lot of your mental energy and thinking space. This can significantly impact your situational awareness. In fact, depending upon the level of frustration that you're experiencing, your brain can hijack all your thoughts, and you can be consumed by your angst. While operating in high-risk, high-stress environments, frustration may draw your attention away from those elements, those clues and cues, those indicators that are used to form awareness. Some sources of frustration. There are many things that can cause frustration in a high-risk, high-stress environment. As I reflect back on my experience in conversations with thousands of students, I can offer this small list of sources of frustration that can impact your situational awareness. For example, receiving incomplete or inaccurate information about the nature or details of a problem that you have to deal with. Or delayed response times because you had to wait for others before you could start dealing with the problem. Or other team members who do not know how to perform their jobs effectively. This includes not only the technical knowledge of the job, but also being physically fit or unfit, I should say, to perform their duties, causing those team members to fatigue quickly and impact operations. Or tasks not being completed as quickly as you expected your team to complete the tasks, or the tasks not being completed at all. Or independent action, sometimes called freelancing. Team members perform actions that are not consistent with the overall objectives, causing confusion and safety concerns. Or team members complaining about having to do their jobs. Or inadequate equipment to get the task done efficiently, or a general lack of equipment or resources. With little effort, I am confident you could easily add to the list of things that have frustrated you from time to time while operating in high-risk, high-stress environments. And, if you're being honest, you'd probably admit that your mind wasn't completely on the task while you were preoccupied with the frustrating issues or conditions. Tangible examples. I recall two really good examples from the interviews that I conducted on my journey to uncover and research the barriers that impact situational awareness, of which frustration is one of those barriers to situational awareness. In both examples, the outcomes resulted in the affected member's attention being drawn away from other critical tasks. The first example comes from a fireground incident commander who assigned an interior crew the task of looking for fire extension after the fire had been knocked down in a single-family residential dwelling. The smoke and fire conditions had significantly improved following the knockdown, and this commander was feeling the incident was well under control. But then the conditions started to degrade again. The smoke was transitioning from white to gray to black. The velocity of the smoke was increasing too, indicating the smoke was getting hotter. The commander began to get frustrated, causing him to hyper-focus on the actions of the overhaul crew. The commander called the interior crew on the radio, using what the commander described as his frustrated voice. The crew did not answer. The commander called again. Still the crew did not answer. The commander called a third time, and the crew did answer. The commander demanded an update report on the crew's progress, knowing already from the exterior conditions, as they were getting worse, that the fire was likely active in the walls and possibly in the attic. The crew indicated they were unable to get the walls opened up due to the type of construction. This was not the report the commander wanted to hear, and he went from being frustrated to being furious. With this report, the commander donned a breathing apparatus and made entry into the dwelling to see for himself why the crew was not able to accomplish the task. This commander allowed his frustration to reduce what should have been a broad incident situational awareness and caused him to become fixated at the task level. In this case, the lack of task performance of a single crew. As the commander engaged in the hands-on task level activity, his ability to manage the overall incident eroded. The second example comes from a fire lieutenant who was operating on the roof of a commercial building. His crew had completed the task of cutting a ventilation hole. The smoke conditions on the roof were significant enough to obscure visibility, and the crews were using their breathing apparatus. At one point, additional firefighters came to the roof. The lieutenant acknowledged some frustration with that because he had enough personnel on the roof to perform the task and felt the additional personnel were unnecessary, and he believed they were freelancing. If this were not enough frustration for the lieutenant, several of those firefighters who came to the roof were not wearing their breathing apparatus face pieces under conditions that clearly warranted them to be worn. The lieutenant addressed this concern right away with the personnel, and instead of ready compliance, the crew's officer became argumentative and refused to have his crew don their face pieces. The lieutenant's attention was clearly on the frustrating issue of dealing with these recalcitrant firefighters, and with his attention on this task, the lieutenant turned away, walking away, and fell right into the hole that his crew had just completed cutting. Fortunately, he did not fall all the way through the hole. He did, however, receive injuries related to his fall. It can be very difficult to control your frustration at an incident scene, especially when expectations are not being met. If you find yourself becoming frustrated and thus fixated on something, try these suggestions. 1. Be mindful at all times of the role you're playing and how important it is to stay focused on your role for the safety of yourself and others. 2. If the source of frustration can be set aside and dealt with later, delay addressing it in the moment. Of course, matters of safety should be addressed immediately to prevent harm to your team and to civilians. Employ a stress reduction breathing technique. Breathe in on a 4 count. Hold for a 4 count. Breathe out on a 4 count. Delay the next inspiration for a 4 count. This will cause a small increase in carbon dioxide levels in the blood and slow the release of chemicals that can hyper-focus your attention. The old adage of take a deep breath has some merit here. 4. If you are in the supervisory or command role, consider delegating the frustrating issue to a subordinate and let them resolve it on your behalf. This will allow you to keep your focus on the important task of supervising the overall incident. 5. If you must address the source of frustration, be courteous and professional and adopt a mindset of being helpful. Avoid confrontational language or demeanor, like using your frustrated, annoyed, or agitated voice. There's too much at stake if your situational awareness erodes as a result of frustration. And if your eroded situational awareness results in a casualty, you'll be very disappointed in yourself that you yielded your awareness of your critical role to your frustration. I have a favor to ask of you, the listeners and viewers of this show. The primary reason I created this show was to provide a sharing platform for those who have experienced near-miss events. The stories that have been shared with me on these episodes and at my live events have been nothing short of amazing and extremely educational. And I'd like to get more of these lessons shared with the listeners and viewers, but I need your help to do so. If you've experienced or witnessed a near miss and would like to have a platform to share your lessons learned with others, contact me by visiting the samatters.com website and clicking on the Contact Us tab at the top of the homepage. Think about it for a moment. The lessons learned from your near miss event could save someone's life. That's really powerful. What a wonderful gift that would be. If you want to share your experience, contact me. Okay, I want to take a moment to share some feedback I received recently by email. I just wanted to say how much I appreciated the training you provided to us yesterday. My immediate reaction was, when I heard I had to attend another training session, is to use a lot of colorful words and phrases that shouldn't be repeated here. Your presentation style was so energetic and engaging. While I didn't expect to, I found your presentation very interesting. As you were speaking, I immediately started to think about other areas of my life that this topic would apply to. Talk about mind drift. I learned a lot and will definitely be looking for ways to apply this in my work and in my personal life. Mark Lucy, Supervisor, Portsmouth Naval Shipyard. Thank you, Mark, for sending me that email. I appreciate the feedback. If you want to send me feedback, I'd love to hear from you. Just go to the SA Matters website, click on that Contact Us tab, and that'll send me an email. Okay, as I always do, I'd like to take a moment to thank the companies, organizations, agencies, and departments that have hosted situational awareness training for their members. I do this to show my appreciation to those who've put forth the effort to organize, advertise, and fund training on this important topic. Recent tour stops have included the Texas Fire Chiefs Conference, Syncrude Canada, where I'm at now. I've been here a couple of times recently. The Maryland Fire and Rescue Institute National Fire Service Staff and Command Program. If you're interested in attending one of the upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stops, you can join me on April 2 and 3 in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, April 9 to 13 in Evansville, Indiana, April 17th at Camp Ripley, Minnesota, April 23 in Billings, Montana, April 25 to 28 in Indianapolis, Indiana, April 30th in Sun Valley, Idaho, May 1 to 3 in Madison, Georgia, and May 5 in Spruce Grove, Alberta. If you want to see all the locations of the upcoming Situational Awareness Matters tour stop events, head over to the SA Matters website, click on that blue box on the right side of the homepage labeled Live Training Dates. Just remember, the program schedule is always changing, so check back often. If you're interested in hosting a Situational Awareness Matters program, stop by and click the Contact Us tab and send me an email. There are already 80-plus programs scheduled for 2018. This is both good news and bad news. The good news is these programs will reach over 10,000 students in 2018. The bad news is I'm running out of dates for 2018. And this is causing me to push some of the scheduling already into 2019, much sooner than I expected. What does this mean for you? It means if you want to get your members trained on situational awareness and high-risk decision-making in 2018 or 2019, now is the time to get scheduled. So if you think your department, company, agency, association, regional conference, state conference, or national conference might want to host a program, click on that Contact Us tab on the homepage. I have great staff, and they'll get the entire process taken care of for you easily, I promise you. The last time I was delivering programs in southwest Minnesota, I stopped by to visit the sponsor of this podcast show, Midwest Fire. Midwest Fire is a fire truck manufacturing company that makes amazing all-poly-bodied fire apparatus, and it's changing the industry. If you haven't checked them out yet, you need to. Go to MidwestFire.com. That's MidwestFire.com. Anyhow, while I was there, I had a chance to sit down and talk to some of their employees about what separates Midwest Fire from their competitors. Let's listen into a conversation I had with engineer Tyler LeBrun talking about the differentiation of Midwest Fire. Let's listen in. So, Tyler, what differentiates the manufacturing process here at Midwest Fire as, say, compared to the competitors who build fire trucks as well? What makes you stand out in comparison?
I don't really know exactly what kind of systems the other competitors have in place, but the one thing that I really think that sets us apart that I've seen in the side of the manufacturing field is trying to implement and adhere to some different lean ideologies, and that being said, lean manufacturing really helps us deliver a better quality product more efficiently with less waste to the customer. And also on the other side of that, I think the team that we have here, our manufacturing team and all the people that we have, with the way we work together, the teamwork that we have, and everybody's positive attitude. And it may sound kind of cliche, but the can-do spirit that we have, I think, really helps us, separate ourselves from the competition.
But I think one of the things too that I noticed when we were touring around on the shop floor is, as I looked around, I didn't see hundreds of employees. This is not a company that employs hundreds of people. It's an employee it's a company that employs a small number of employees with a great deal of dedication, and obviously that lends some to this teamwork and this sense of family that is going on here that might actually be an asset compared to a large company where an employee just might be a number.
Exactly, most definitely, and that's something that we see is all of our employees are able to work together to build these trucks, because it's not something that they're just going to sit in their station and only do their work. If they see that somebody else needs help, they're going to go over there and help them do that, help them get ahead in their part of the process so that the product can keep flowing through the manufacturing floor.
Nice, thank you. So that's really example of what separates Midwest Fire on the manufacturing side from their competitors. So check them out at MidwestFire.com. Thank you, Midwest Fire President Sarah Atchison and all your amazing staff for your awesome commitment to improving the safety of first responders. I really appreciate your support of my mission. If you're not a member of the SA Matters community of learners yet, you might want to consider getting involved. There are over 50,000 people connected with me through our newsletter, our YouTube channel, our Facebook page, our Twitter feed, and LinkedIn, sharing ideas about how to improve situational awareness and how to make better decisions under stress, how to improve the skills of critical thinking and resilient problem solving. Let's start with the newsletter. The newsletter is completely free. The newsletter will come to you by email once a month and contains featured content from both the SA Matters blog and the SA Matters show. And occasionally I'll offer special discounts on books and videos exclusively for the newsletter subscribers. The newsletter truly is the best way for us to stay in touch with each other. Now, there are two ways to subscribe to the newsletter. First, if you have a smartphone, you can text SA Matters to 22828. That's the letter S as in Sam, the letter A as in Adam, and the word matters. All together, one word, SA Matters to 22828. Be sure to watch your spell checker because it might try to change the word SA Matters to something else. If you do it right, you'll get a text message back to enter your email address. Once you do that, you'll be signed up for the newsletter. It's that easy. Now, I know some of you don't have a smartphone or you don't like to do the texting thing. In that case, you can swing by the SA Matters website and click on the red box on the right side of the homepage labeled Free Membership. If you want to get connected on Twitter, just follow @Rich Gasaway on Twitter. If you want to get connected on LinkedIn, just search for Rich Gasaway on LinkedIn. If you want to watch my videos, including this show, you can subscribe to the SA Matters TV YouTube channel. That's SA Matters TV, all one word, on YouTube. If you want to get connected on Facebook, you can just like the SA Matters page on Facebook. Okay, finally, the SA Matters show and SA Matters TV YouTube channel has enjoyed over 700,000 downloads and views. This show is the longest-running, fastest-growing, safety-focused show on the Internet. If you know a company that might want to advertise their product or services on this show, have them contact me through the SA Matters website. Well, that's it. Episode 205 is complete. Thank you to our awesome podcast sponsor, Midwest Fire. Thank you to all the companies, agencies, and organizations that have hosted Situational Awareness Matters live events. Thank you to those who have hosted the virtual training events. Thank you to the more than 1,500 students and graduates of the SA Matters Online Academy. And most importantly, thank you, the audience of this show, for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.